Hello, everybody, and welcome to our opening race for the Mega Man 10 Any Percent Tournament. We've got a good one tonight. We've got AguadeCoco against Myst66. I'm Mr. Cab55 here with Pro Piece RTA to bring you all the action. How's it going tonight, Pro?
I'm not too bad. I unmuted the SpeedGaming stream and heard myself by accident.
I love it when we do these races and these tournaments and you have that first little hit, but that's fine. We're here playing Mega Man 10. It's our first race, so I think we're going to talk about things just a little bit more. And apologize to everybody who knows and loves this game out there. But we're going to tell the runners they can get ready and then get started with our dear friend Pump Man, starting here from the stage select screen for Mega Man 9 and 10. This is, of course, Mega Man 10, released, I believe, in 2010 on the Wii, the original Wii, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. One of two digital titles that Capcom released around there, kind of in the style of Mega Man 2. Buster, not really a charge shot, no sliding, walking around, lower boss iframes, and life is good. It's interesting. These are some fun games. They're out there now on Legacy Collection 2, so we're going to definitely see a few of our runners throughout this tournament on, I think, everything except the Xbox 360. And we'll have some fun. Our runners are both readied up and ready to go. And any moment now, we'll get to hear that classic Mega Man opening sound. Coco, I should mention, is kind of one of the he's up and coming Mega Man 11 runner, getting up there. I think he's 20th on the leaderboard now, getting into the mid-lower 30s. Just coming over here to Mega Man 10. We love seeing people pick up new Mega Man games for these tournaments. Myst, I've got the time written down over here. Had a 38 coming into this. Not as familiar with Myst, but we're going to see the show.
I believe Myst just started learning the game, and he was actually in the relay that happened in January.
Very nice. So we've got two people then that are relatively newish to Mega Man 10. Let's see what they can do. But as long as they're not strangers to Mega Man, I mean, this is always like the classic question when you play a game in a series and with this many games. Can't you just, take the skill set from one game and pull it into another game? So we jump through the waterfalls of Pump Man stage. Those do push you down.
Yeah, Pump Man's a very, I would say, straightforward stage. You're in the sewer, just trying to go left and right. We'll see a couple of damage boosts, and you saw those bubbles, which will actually carry you. And then later in the stage, coming up, you'll actually see them. Try and avoid them, because they'll pick you up and carry you into the spikes.
Yeah, they are working against the current here as well. That's what's kind of pushing the bubbles too. So it's just making sure you stay out of the bubbles, stay out of the spikes. Mega Man 10, unlike Mega Man 9, which was released also in this style, did kind of say, wait a minute, we have these two buttons on the top of the controller. So L and R are options. We can fast weapon switch over to rush as well. So we get to see a lot of weapons in this game.
Alright, so the Pump Man fight, he's gonna shoot out a bunch of his water shield there. And I think they take 2 or 3 shots to kill them themselves, but you can kind of get your sprite into his bubble shield and shoot him. So you want to hit him about 6 or 7 times and then back up a little and then start killing his bubbles. And then after, in between 1 and 3 jumps, he'll shoot them out at you. And it's a really annoying fight, but both runners look like they're doing pretty good at it.
Yep, Myst taking care of business. Coco's going to be caught over here on... Oh, I was going to say he's going to be caught against the right wall, but he got centered at the expense of the fight going on another 3 seconds. And Mega Man 10 has this agonizingly long fanfare and to beam out sequence. I think it's something like 14, 16 seconds.
Yeah, I just know between splitting on boss kill and teleporting out, it's about 16 seconds. It's really bad.
But yep, we do have the water shield. Just like you said, I think each one does take about 2 points of damage. It also delivers 2 points of damage. But Myst66 Solar Man stage, which I think is a really kind of fun stage. It does open up with a lot of rush coil usage, and like we kind of said earlier, you can fast weapon swap over to rush coil. There's a lot of Mega Man games out there where you have to pause and eat the menu time if you want to access coil, and you have to then weigh that decision. Not this one.
Yeah, Solar Man's a very vertical oriented stage. You'll see like them go up some ladders and then go through a little rush of a stage, and then coming up is the Suzak and Phoenix as Coco takes a bit of a spill in the lava there. But this stage is really hard to when you're first running, so I don't. Yeah. But
yeah.
Suzak and Phoenix, I'll let you finish. Whatever.
Oh no, you've got Suzak and Phoenix
yeah.
are quite
Suzak
annoying. Birds are jerks.
They're based on, well, everything in this game is kind of based on the cycle of which your game is, or which it's a time-based cycle. So you can kind of manipulate if you play the stage this right way. But Suzak and Phoenix, if you don't, they can just go up and down and across, and you have to hit them with 6 buster shots and then a bunch of the water shield, which is kind of scary considering water shield is also the weakness of the boss of this stage.
Yeah, and it is not a cheap weapon. It's a very effective, very useful weapon, but you basically want to have at least 2 pump shields going into the boss. You can do it with as little as 1, since each individual bubble does damage, but Solar Man is not unaware of his weakness. If bubbles go into that kind of solar flare on his head, it's going to do nothing. It's just going to eat it. Very nice usage of the last 2 bubbles.
Yeah, that was a very nice kill with the amount of water shield he had left over.
There are drops in the stage there. On Coco's screen, you can kind of see the one. It does take a little bit of time to go over there and get it. So Coco's just going to go up here. Coco took that death earlier, actually, on a jump where you have to go for a very late damage boost. You can, boost and fall in the lava and then jump out of it. But of course, you want to not fall in at all. It's just the classic case of tapping left to get damaged and fall right, but then you went too far left and avoided the damage and fell in the pit. You are seeing all the runners here take that little hop at the beginning of the stage just to skip the kind of walking start animation. Classic thing in 9 and 10. Every time they get to the top of a ladder or beam in and gain controller, you're probably going to see that. Myst is using water shield here since these giant ice blocks have a kind of a mechanic where they need to either be jumped on top of or shot twice to break. And since they're below you, it's very easy to have a water shield that circles you, deal those hits.
Yeah, Chillman's a very tough stage to figure out when you're first running the game because of the little amount of resources you have. But I think it's a pretty fun stage once you figure it out.
It's a fun, it's a terrifying stage, but it does have neat tricks there, like using Rush Coil to get through that section fast. This last screen, though, is just deadly. Just these little jumping robots, and again, every time something lands on these blocks, it cracks them, it tries to shatter them. So there's a lot of going on here, and if you panic, if you jump, things can get very bad very fast.
Yeah, just if you take a hit, don't do an extra jump because you'll accidentally do a small one and then fall in the pit. It's happened many times.
So Chillman is kind of the first time we get to see the fast weapon swapping of this game. Weapons, when you switch using LNR, it cancels the shot that's on the screen. And because you can't fire a second solar blaze until the first one's gone, it's actually faster to just switch weapons and switch back than it is to wait for it. Of course, you also have to make sure you don't push L and R at the same time, because that just switches you back to Buster instead. I love the animated emote of Mega Man getting frozen in chat. Hopefully we don't see that on Coco's side. Very easy. Coco with a dangerous jump. Very easy to get frozen and basically put in an infinite by Chillman if you're not careful.
So I can explain that the each weapon in this game kind of has like a secondary property to it, where Solar Blazes, it'll have that fireball that comes out, and then when it hits something, it'll split into two and go across the screen. And then you'll see that with about every weapon in the game.
That was a really good fight from Coco.
Yeah, that was very nice.
So Chill Spikes, going on your pattern here of secondary effects, the little ice glob that comes out doesn't do that much. It does freeze things, which is nice. But you also saw it was the spikes that actually kind of blew up the trucks. That's going to be the running theme here. Use the spikes, don't use the ice. Oh, there's a Joe shot to the right. You got to wait for it.
Yeah, when you're on that truck, you kind of want to go to the left of it without falling off, and then once you're past that Joe, just sprint to the right of it, and then whatever shots will just disappear off screen because the truck's moving pretty fast.
Yeah, I want to say almost it even just shoots to the left if you're at the right time, but yeah, anything that results in not seeing the shot is good.
And what you saw on Myst screen, the because the trucks have such velocity in the when moving forward, the Chill Spike actually moves backwards just into it, which most runners will do.
Solar Blaze here really kind of showing its power, just wiping out everything on that bottom screen. Of course, Nitro Man himself, weak again. You want to hit with the spikes, not the ice glob. So when he stands still, this could be a little tricky. Not bad, not bad.
Not a bad fight so far. So he can start out with 3 different patterns. He can do his little drive around, which you saw. He can stand still, which he did versus Myst, or he can drive up the wall. And then, but a neat thing with Nitro Man is when you hit him, when you freeze him, he automatically skips whatever attack phase he's on and moves to the next one. So you can just hit him over and over until he goes into that driving phase, so you can get the spikes out and he can run over them.
There is kind of a pixel, and it's an unfortunate drop for Coco, that you can put down the ice and the spikes will actually kind of expand into Nitro Man. But it's really tricky to find that spot. You might as well just hit them sometimes. It's one of those things, don't waste too much time looking for it. The drop that Coco got isn't unfortunate for any reason other than just the time it takes for the meter to fill up, this being a Mega Man game. No other reason, it's otherwise just fine. Commando Man stage here that Myst is in is probably the easiest stage in the game, actually.
Yeah, this the...
Yeah, it's just a lot of quicksand. It's kind of moving to the right, making sure, and like in these sections, you just ride the sandstorm and go forward. But it's, I guess we haven't talked about Rush yet. Pro, do you want to talk about Rush yet?
Yeah, after 5 stages, I believe, you will get the Rush Jet.
Just 4, but yeah.
Adapter. Oh, it's 4 in this game. I think it's 5 and 9. That's why.
Yeah, it's 5 and 9.
But you get the Rush Jet adapter, which actually works out with the boss route, because the first stage that you really need Rush Jet is Commando Man, and then it's just a platform that will fly across the screen. And then I'm gonna try and find a better way to explain this, but
well, like right there, the sandstorm just kind of went right under him without hindering him because Rush Jet just flew over it.
Yeah, if you have a certain amount of pixels of Rush above the sandstorm, you won't get pushed back from it. Then this final screen, you just get pushed forward, and now you're at the boss.
Uh-oh. Coco's going for it blind. Just missed that one jump. It is an easy stage, but it also is a stage that requires you to kind of know what you're getting into and know how to keep up with the sand. Because things can go south fast if you're not ready for it. Commando Man himself, does have a weird property where on his jumps while he's going up, he just doesn't have iframes at all. So you can just pump the wheel cutters into him. Coco, you're scaring me there. He was like on the edge of the platform, and Mega Man's toe jumped at the in the sandstorm to keep him moving. He's gonna show up.
I think that Met hit actually saved him a bit.
Might have. He's going to collect the bolts there. That's a nice little set of 3 bolts. I forget how much the big bolts are worth, but it feels like in Mega Man 10, it's a lot easier to get bolts to buy E-Tanks at the store if that's something you're interested in doing. Of course, depending on your comfort level with the endgame stages, you might be very interested in going in with like 5 E-Tanks. So Blade Man stage, I think, is one of the more technical stages, probably most out of all the robots. As you can see here, Myst is already using like 3 or 4 different weapons on just the first couple of screens. Also already switching to Rush Jet here over using those platforms. You can actually jump the 4-tile spike gaps, but it's a very tight window.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it saves too much time in the first place. So unless you have like a 34, low 34 in this game, you probably won't be needing to go for it.
Shoutouts to celebratory rush coils. I think it does save just a little. It saves time more in not using rush than it saves time otherwise.
Yeah, that's true, because for this screen, you'll actually rush through the entire screen rather than having to stop. That's why you save the time.
Yeah, it's a matter of rush jet ammo more than it is a matter of time there, and there's a large drop up there if you want to get a little extra rush. But yeah, you can see here. It's scary going up there, especially with some of those new D-pads that are kind of up and down happy if you just are slightly off. But as long as you just kind of keep Mega Man's head pretty close to those spikes, you should be fine as long as you're holding right. So, you want to talk more about secondary effects?
Yeah, the Commando Bomb itself will only do 1 damage, but once it hits a wall, as you saw there, it'll do a bit of a ripple effect. And then if you hit the wall at a certain pixel, it'll actually hit Blade Man twice. And then you can actually manipulate him to go up and then back to the right wall. And then hopefully you get three double hits, and then that's probably... But it's really difficult. Well, not really difficult, but it takes some time to figure out.
Getting the multiple hits, whether it's on Blade Man or another mid-boss, can be a little tricky. The 2 sort of goalkeeper mini-bosses in Strike Man stage, we're going to see Commando Bomb come out again. You also get to start seeing Triple Blade here, like sort of universal backup weapon of this game. Myst going up there. You want to have the ladder grabbed when you let go, just so that your fall velocity isn't coming from the previous screen. There's Commando Bomb not agreeing with the directional pad on the controller. Myst making short work of him with, again, the backup of Blade. Triple Blade, just a really nice weapon with the triple shot. I think you can do 2 hits in 1 shot.
I believe it's 2 hits, and then the next, without iframes, the next hit just does 1. So it's not actually that all 3 blades hit. You actually have to do a double shot to get all 3 to hit.
Ah.
Thank you, Chlorate, for that explanation. It's Google Doc.
I need to find the Google Doc later. Myst here connecting with the first Commando Bomb this time.
Looks like it hit twice, so you only needed 2 triple blades.
Coco did have a double hit on Blade Man. Very nice fight there. Coco putting together not actually a bad run at all. Just has a couple of deaths in it.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good for him.
Myst getting to the end of Strike Man stage. I think we're legally required to point out that there were no spikes or pits in the course of making Strike Man stage.
Yeah, I was trying to find a good point to say that, but I couldn't kind of ease it into anywhere. But yeah, so if you select this stage accidentally in the wrong order, then good luck trying to find a way to game over.
There is actually a surprisingly large amount of damage in this stage, but to your point, it's still going to take a little while to actually find the deaths. Triple Blade is just such a nice weapon, and of course, one of the Robot Masters had to be unlucky enough to be weak to it, so it's Strike Man. He doesn't like cutters, he likes fastballs. On the one hand, I always wonder what were they thinking with Sheepman, and on the other hand, we have to ask, do robots dream of electric sheep?
Now, as bad as Sheepman might seem and his weapon is terrible, but this stage is actually extremely fun to run when you learn it. Then we'll see the introduction of these disappearing blocks, which we'll see later in the game as well. So if you stand on them, after about 2 or 3 seconds, they'll disappear under your feet.
It's kind of a scary rush jet jump here. You just want to make sure you're far enough and that you don't get knocked into the pit when that thing comes up. You can get past it without taking damage. You can kind of shoot to the left to make sure you get boosted to the right. This is Octoball. If you thought the goalies were bad, check this out. Well done by Myst. The timing on that is way too tight.
So for that one, you kind of want to wait until the second one, you can hear the second one come out, and then shoot it toward the left middle. You don't want it directly in the middle because then it won't kill. But it's really tough when you first learn the game.
I don't think I knew the bit about don't go directly to the middle.
I believe if you hit it directly in the middle, then it won't actually have enough range to kill the Octoball.
It's like a 7-10 split now. I've got to keep that in mind. Shoutouts to Yoku Blocks, the reason why this stage is so late in the order. So like we were kind of alluding to earlier, Commando Man, Blade Man, and then this stage are kind of the stages where you want Rush Jet the most, and it's very convenient that they come at the end of the route when you already have Rush Jet. So Sheepman, weak to Rebound Striker. A very weird bouncing around the room weapon, but it also, every time it hits a wall, the damage that deals goes up by 1. So that's why you see a lot of these shots, kind of intentional bank shots, like we're in an old McDonald's commercial with Michael Jordan.
That was some quick work from Myst.
That was a very nice fight.
Sheepman can, I wasn't fully watching, but if he can either, once he comes down the first time, he can either stay down for a little bit longer and shoot like an electric ball at you, or you can just go straight up. And you want him to stay down just for that little bit extra bit of damage, because on a good fight, then you'll be able to just kill him right there.
There it goes, Coco with the kill. Should we talk about RNG? Seems like a good time to talk about RNG.
I guess you can start it off, because I can't think of what to say about RNG.
Oh, so RNG in this game, I believe, is on some level determined by the amount of frames it's been since you started the stage. It kind of goes along with the global cycle thing, with when the Yoku blocks appear, when some other things happen. I bring this up because Myst just got to this door from the stage in a known number of frames by not stopping. So we absolutely know Alec Man's going to be the first one of the archives that comes out. And that's going to come into play a little bit later. Obviously, it's very hard, kind of, once you really have to go more than one screen, to keep track of how much time it's been together, and to kind of be absolutely frame perfect with your movement all of the time. But it's very useful there on that first screen.
Yeah, theoretically, every archive can be the same if you play the stage exactly the same way, but that's near impossible. So for the second and third archives, you're just gonna have to deal with what you get.
So if you caught on to the theme there from the first one, these are old robot masters. We saw Elk Man, Gemini Man, and Woodman. Here's 4, 5, and 6. So we get Ring, Flame, and Napalm. I was about to say Pharaoh. Pharaoh is Ring's weakness, except we're using fire now.
Yeah, that was it. If you don't get, I usually play to expect Napalm Man to come first. So if you don't get him first, then it's kind of just out of control. But I think he handled that pretty well.
I'm kind of in the same boat. Napalm Man and getting to Rebound Striker, that kind of is the most involved weapon swap. So it's kind of nice to kind of go in there already with that weapon out and just kind of hope for the best. Pump, Water Shield, and Solar Blaze are pretty close to Buster in the weapon wheel. Of course, this is in the style of an old Mega Man game, so we are in a castle stage now. That means we do not get weapon refills between stages. So we gotta be a little careful with what we use. We are going to see an M-Tank before this is over. And actually, honestly, for that reason, it's very nice to have drops anyway. Like, most of the time you see a large drop, you want nothing to do with it. You want it to just keep moving, keep running. We like large drops in Wily 1.
I am curious to where the runners will use their M-Tanks, because there are different routes to where some runners will use their M-Tanks, and there's even a route that doesn't even grab the M-Tank at all.
There's Slashman and Frostman with their little 8-bit pictures up top. Still, well, Slashman is still really annoying. Frostman, we don't have grenades. We have commando bombs, which don't stun lock him anymore. Ice Wave actually gets a chance to be seen, and it is devastating in this game if you're not ready for it.
It's still impossible to dodge, even if you are ready for it.
Fortunately, I think these runners have the E-Tank all the way back from Pumpman stage if they want it. Wily 2 screen one's actually another one of these using all sorts of weapons screens. Myst is handling it very nicely. We haven't talked about Wheel Cutter at all yet, but you've probably noticed it by now. If you're holding it against a wall and kind of pushing into the wall, the wheel will just carry you up with it. It's very nice, very fast movement.
Now we see the return of Suzak and Phoenix, which actually there is a manip for them in Wily 2. But once again, you have to play the stage the exact same way, and then you'll get a certain pattern. Then we see these Crushers, which are on a global cycle, so unless you know the exact global timer you're on, you're almost never going to know when they actually are going to come down and crush you.
There's the M-Tank. By the way, if you play on hard mode, it's on the other side. Ooh. Okay.
That jumps really hard, actually.
That jump is awful. I'm still using jet through it.
But luckily, all you have to do is wait for that snowman to come down, or the mat will actually run at you, not the snowman.
Myst taking time to make sure he's on Rush Jet. Refusing to access the menu. This is terrifying me with these jumps.
You saw on Coco screen the actual weakness to the Slashman's Chill Spike, but once again, his weakness is the actual spikes and not the little blob that comes out.
Yep, we don't have Freeze Cracker, we have Chill Spikes. And it is just really annoying to actually hit him with it. So Triple Blade, again, functioning as sort of the everybody's weak to it weapon. It's the Crab Puncher here, weak to Commando Bombs and actually also Thunderwall.
Yeah, we discovered recently that his weakness, one of his weaknesses is a Thunderwall.
I could swear it was known at some point, but even then, it's like good luck because the lightning bolt cloud kind of moves with everything. It's like good luck getting a cloud over his eyes to actually hit him. It's impossible.
Yeah, I think what Myst was going for when he kind of put his claws in front of his eyes, where you can put the Thunderwall in a certain spot and it'll hit both of his eyes, but it's probably still pretty precise.
Coco trying to use Commando Bomb to hit Suzak and Phoenix. Just not having a lot. He's hitting directly, which doesn't do a lot of damage at all. So this spike elevator is even scarier than you might think at first. Those spikes still count as solid platforms. So even if they don't kill you by being a spike, Mega Man will get crushed by the elevator against it if he's standing underneath them.
Yeah, I've been killed by that multiple times. And also, I'll say the little green things that you use to move the purple platform left and right, since they pop up a little bit, you'll see the spikes can actually go under it, and if you go to jump on the little button, the spike can hit you still.
Yep.
And it's really annoying.
Coco gets the jump. Coco actually had an M-Tank purchased at the shop, I guess. So he already had one. Actually used it and then collected the M-Tank. You can only have one M-Tank at a time, and in fact, if you have one, an M-Tank will not even spawn. So, just some interesting strategy there.
It's pretty neat what... I don't know how much he actually looked into tutorials for this game, but it's pretty neat what people will come up with when they're new to the game.
Yeah, I was kind of starting to go there earlier a little bit, just with, Mega Man 10 is just another Mega Man game in the series. Certainly it's most similar probably to 9, and then kind of the early Walking Megas 1 and 2. But knowing Mega Man as a generic concept definitely helps, but this game has its quirks just like the others. So it's always fun to see what somebody brings from another game. Coco taking out my arch nemesis, Mr. Crab. The Crab Puncher.
He wasn't being too nice to Coco, but Coco killed him.
And Coco did a good job there with the shots on the floor. Myst kind of running around here looking to avoid these blocks as the block devil forms up. That far left tile is almost safe. Not perfect dodging here. Like we kind of mentioned earlier, the Rebound Striker does more damage the more it bounces around. So
this might be a...
Yeah, we get to see the reset here.
Yeah, he was out of triple blades, so he had to... Now he has to watch the blocks go back into the wall. And then the eye will actually spawn below that bottom platform. And then the only way you can hit him is with triple blades, but I think he's out, so they'll just have to watch it reform again.
He's going for the M-Tank, the W-Tank, I should say. He's low on health, too. I'm not sure if the he can use the E-Tank at the same time.
Yeah, the E-Tank's a good idea, because he'll shoot at you from under those platforms, too, I'm pretty sure.
I feel like that might have been the time to use the M-Tank, if you're going to use a W-Tank and an E-Tank. So you can't hit him here. You were kind of getting to it earlier. Blade is a great option here, because if you're in the air, blades, triple blades will go down instead of up. So now we go through another cycle of this thing forming up, and Coco's coming.
I think Coco's just got one more auto-scroller than he's on the boss himself, so this might be a closer match than it seemed.
Oh, I didn't know he came from that. Myst fired some shots kind of off the wall to bounce around and go down that middle hole, which is where Block Devil will always spawn the first time. Didn't spawn from there that time, though.
I actually didn't know he changed patterns when he reformed.
So, as you can probably imply from what we're saying here, there is a one-cycle kill. We'll see if Coco can get it. Just going to ride Rush Jet through that screen. Nice.
I think that's what everybody does when they first start the game, because that's actually a really scary screen, even if you're especially when you're on PvP. I mean,
yeah, it's terrifying. Any screen that has a lot of spikes, especially that late in the stage. Myst is going to refill some Solar Blaze. Go and fight Nitro first.
It might be going Nitro Solar and then M tanking, or Nitro Chill and then M tanking after Chill Man to refill the Solar.
Yeah, typically here the idea is to use the M tank after you use the weapons that Wily's going to be weak to. And then go on from there. Go! Stay on the platform!
That was a close one, but he's out.
It's scaring me. He's through, so yeah. Making up a bunch of time on Myst there by not seeing another cycle, but Myst was pretty much a full stage ahead. Myst taking a lot of hits here against Chillman. Pretty much most of these bosses are going to have the same sort of strategies and weaknesses as earlier. The big differences are that we have Triple Blade now, so if we're ever in a weird situation, we could always fall back on Triple Blade as the universal backup. And, of course, Pump Man is the first Robot Master. We get to actually use his weakness this time. A weapon that I would argue is actually worse than Power Stone.
Well, for the boss, for Pump Man at least, this is an awful weapon. And Coco starting with Solar Man there, so both runners going with different boss routes.
Good kill by Myst. You do want to keep a lot of Water Shield as much as you can, since that's one of the weapons we're going to need against Wily. Sheepman just not cooperating here.
Yes, a weird fact about the boss rush in 10 is that the layout for each boss is actually the same they are on the stage select screen. So if you just memorize that, then you know where each boss is.
Myst is going in here, so here's Thunderwall. We get to actually see it.
And this is where Pump Man jumping in between 1 and 3 times can really hurt. And I don't know if we'll see it here, but the Thunderwall is a weird property with Pump Man where if he's standing in the electricity that's shooting down on him, you can shoot a Thunderwall into him and it'll do a bunch of the same amount of damage for some reason. It'll just kind of ignore his iframes. I don't really know how it works.
I'm not completely familiar with it either. I know the lightning bolt only does damage once every so often. There we go. Myst here fighting the pirate Wily machine, I guess. Very nice. Using Coil to get up here and then hit Wily with the Water Shield. That is pretty good.
That was a pretty good fight for Myst, and now he's on to the final stage.
Just have to go up a little bit to get there. A little bit further. There we go. So we did talk briefly about RNG and manips in Wily 1. There actually is a manip here of sorts where you're basically hoping to get through this section in the same amount of time every time. A lot of the movement for that purposes is buffered, so rather than having to rely on where the jump's happening, just walk into walls with a wheel cutter out and let it carry you up and just fall down on your own. Hold down to make sure that you go down that ladder as soon as possible. So everything's kind of set up so that you can hopefully get a good pattern out of Dr. Wily. Hopefully.
If not, then good luck. It's not tough, but like his patterns could be really bad when it comes to actually like getting a good time for the stage.
Yeah, I feel like most of the challenge with Wily, it's not a function of will you survive the fight, it's a function of will you do the fight fast. And he got hit by accident by a little screw there. If you see Wily appear anywhere, except kind of across the screen on the vertical middle heights like that, you're going to see that sort of energy shot pattern that is kind of fast and you can't damage him during it. You want to see that, where he's kind of passing the energy balls back and forth. He did grab another E-Tank coming in here. I'm pretty sure that's because he knew he did not have the manip.
So Myst working on the just about 3 hits left, and that is it. So GG to Myst66. For winning the race and the match, since it's only a best of 1 for now.
Yep, GG to Myst. We didn't ever really talk about it. This is a double elimination tournament, just best of 1s at first. So Myst will be moving on and has the right to play, I think, a Jarmar?
Let me check the bracket and we'll see.
It is a Jarmar.
The 2-seed Jarmar.
Very skilled runner at Mega Man 10.
Yeah, Jarmar have been playing this game forever and very good at this game.
So we'll see if Myst wants to join us shortly while Coco makes his way to Dr. Wily. Coco actually with a pretty strong run here, coming in right behind Myst. Really just had a couple of early unfortunate deaths, like in Solar Man with the failed back boost, not quite nailing Commando Man stage. But look at this. That's the pattern you want to see. At least it's one of them. That's what you really want to see. A really kind of long back and forth pattern. And you can just pummel Wily during that.
I don't think Coco will be too disappointed in his performance, minus those 2 deaths, because he's just started running this game, so I hope he'll take his time down even more as he finishes with a 41-21.
I'm going to check on something here while we see if they want to show up. I think Myst might be almost here. I don't have a record of Coco having a sub 50. I'm pretty sure he does. But I think there's a strong chance we just watch Coco's PB.
I think it might have been him in the classic Discord that had like about a 43 or a 41 that he posted yesterday. But it might have been somebody else.
It was a 43. I mean, 41's still good. I'll take a 41. So just give us a second here. You know how it is sometimes behind the scenes, just making sure that Myst is actually ready to pop in before we drag him in and say his name 50 times. But get your GGs out for Myst, who again will be moving on to play a Jarmar in the next round of the tournament. Had 24 entrants, so top 8 and got the week off. Jarmar knows who he's racing first now. And as long as I'm bringing this up... And Coco's next opponent will be one of Working, Chrissy, or... I think we talked with Rick about this yesterday, the Professor.
Yeah, I don't know if we can say that name live.
Well, we've got Myst here right now.
Hi.
Myst, GG.
Thanks.
The only question I've got is, was there any panic during Block Devil there?
I think that I expected. Sorry, how to best say this? I think there's as much. No, screw the metaphor. But yes, there was an abundance of panic.
You got through it, so that's what counts.
Yeah, looking back on it, it probably would have been faster if I just jumped into the instant death pit, debut-tanked up my rebound striker, and then just hopped back in. Block Devil just takes that long.
Maybe it would have been interesting to time that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got there.
At least you weren't in easy mode, because in easy mode, those blocks move at half speed.
Wait, really?
Oh no!
Ouch.
And there's no death pit as well, so you're stuck in there.
Okay, that actually sounds kind of painful.
And we have Coco here as well. GG Coco, is that a PB?
It is, yep. It's very small PB, but it's a PB.
I never won a PB by too much.
Man, I'm happy about it. I can't complain. Commando. No, I can't complain about it. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, Commando was Commando, and then the little hiccup in Solar, but otherwise it was pretty strong.
Yeah, especially for me. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you guys put up a couple of pretty good runs here. Myst might just need a little more practice there as far as keeping up with a Jarmar. I don't know if you've looked at the bracket yet, but that is your next opponent now.
Yeah. I actually haven't really looked at the bracket that much, so surprise, I suppose.
Surprise! You get the 2 seed.
Yay.
You've got it. You got it. Make him earn it.
Indeed. Really, the mentality for that race was actually kind of interesting because I didn't have a spare screen to watch Coco's run, so I was constantly thinking, should I take it safe or has he leapt ahead? Dun dun dun.
Yeah,
I got 41 with that, but if he was deadless, I could have gotten like a 40, a low 40. Maybe it could have been a really close race.
Yeah, you took up a lot
got
of time in Block Devil.
Yeah, that lost me over a minute.
I'm just like trying to think back, Myst. I think it was just a really clean run. I don't have anything to kind of say, well, what happened? What were you doing there? And no, it was just good, except for the one obvious spot, GG.
Yeah, though if there ever is a place to lose the maximum amount of time without dying, Block Devil certainly is that place.
Yep. And, I guess you also have the commitment to using the M tank in Wily 4, because that was the one other sort of strategic thought I had in there.
I will pick my M-Tank route, and I will stick with it.
Dedication. So Coco, Coco, I'm trying to think now. How many of the E-Tanks did you actually end up using? You had the M-Tank that you used.
Yes, I used 2 M tanks and 2 W tanks in Wily 4. So I didn't use an E tank at all, I believe. Only the M tank.
Yeah, my
So,
first
yeah.
thought was like, okay, that's good because I saw you were in the shop, but I wasn't completely paying attention to what you were buying. My second thought is to make jokes about Mega Man 11 runners going after W tanks at every opportunity. Just because if you're not familiar with the Mega Man 11 runs out there, you do actually buy a lot of W tanks at the shop in that game.
Yeah, I actually have this weird fantasy in my head where Mega Man 11 just chugs so many W tanks that if I don't know a energy drink brand like Monster Energy made a W tank brand, there would be some really stupid commercial about that.
Shoutouts to Bob and George. And
Yeah,
all
I
the
also
W
run
tanks.
11, so I'm used to buying a lot of tanks in the middle of the runs.
So, I mean, yeah, how are you liking 10 so far as an
It's
11 runner?
Yeah, it's been an experience, especially because there's a lot of things that you only start to notice when you go back, like the life counter. I've gotten so many game overs because I cannot see how many lives I have on screen every time I die, so you kind of have to keep track of that. Also, I'm only used to the quick swapping with the weapon wheel so far, so yeah, those details you kind of notice as far as you go back. Also, not having a slide or charge, it's kind of a bummer, but it's something different. I'm kind of liking it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's still Mega Man.
Yeah, it's still Mega Man.
Myst, I got to admit, I'm not sure what other Mega Man games you play. I'd love to pick your brain on the same kind of topic.
Well, you signed up for it. I've run through Mega Man 1 all the way through Mega Man 10. I inexplicably still haven't gotten around to Mega Man 11 yet. I blame it on the lack of a Legacy collection.
That's fair. Although, yeah, we got to get you hooked up with 11. It's a really fun game.
Yeah,
So,
I actually tried it. I actually did have it on my laptop, but unfortunately it ran at the speed of snail, and since the game stops to draw every frame, didn't work out so well. I was basically playing in speed gear the whole time.
that is, I got it now. Playing Speed Gear the whole time, so that's good. Okay. So, with that, I think we are kind of getting ready to sign off. Stay tuned here, of course, for just more of the Speed Gaming content. I'm sure we're going to raid one of the other channels in the great family of networks here, all the great tournaments going on in Speed Gaming. We do need to thank Speed Gaming for letting us play Mega Man here on their channels and hosting us. We love them. Without this, we wouldn't be doing anything outside of just talking to ourselves about Mega Man all day, and that gets old fast. So thank you everybody for showing up and watching this. Thank you for the subs. I saw those out there in chat too. Don't forget to follow the runners. The links are out there in chat. And, their stream names is Myst66 and AguadeCoco 15. There we go. So if you're watching out there and seeing the names on the stream, remember we've got Myst66 and AguadeCoco 15. Follow them on their Twitch channels. If you want to follow myself and ProPiece RTA, you can do that too if you really want to, and we'd appreciate that. But definitely follow the runners. We need them to have these events happen. Any final thoughts?
I've got nothing.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Well, sorry.
Well, sorry, that's okay. I was just thinking about that. I saved time in almost every single split. I mean, most of them are golds. Yes, I only lost time in those two. Wow, that's kind of a bummer. Well, then, pump. So yeah, GG Myst.
That means you've got more room to PB. Myst gets a Jarmar, like we said. You're going to get one of working the professor and Chrissy. So we'll see what comes out of that. And good luck in the bonus bracket. Good luck against a Jarmar. And we'll see everybody next time.
I believe Sunday at 2 p.m. we have a match scheduled. So that's when the next Mega Man 10 match will be.
Yeah, that's true. We've got another 3 that have not been scheduled yet, but yet, like you said, Palpy Blade and Infinite Mystery, Sunday at 2 p.m. Myself and so Mr. Cab against Venice King at 4 p.m. on Sunday, a little while after that. We'll see you there. Have a good night. Have a good day, wherever you are. Just have a good time. Later.